Today we're going to talk about the mental battles that we face as moms.
So grab your coffee and let's chat about it.
Hey, we're Chips and Salsa, two homeschool moms bringing you some fun, encouraging, and practical tips.
If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
So today we want to have coffee with you and chat about something that is near and dear to me because I feel like I constantly battle with thoughts. And it's about the mental battles that we face as moms.
Yeah. Dr. Aman, who's a brain specialist, says there are ants crawling up in our brain, which are automatic negative thoughts.
Yeah, and it's so true. So we have to be intentional
and vigilant.
Yeah, about catching these thoughts and realizing what is true and what is not, because it can really take the joy away from motherhood. And I've experienced this firsthand. The number one mental battle that I think we all face as moms is that we're failing. That we're failing as a mom and that we're messing up our kids.
Right, just the fear that we're a bad mom and you are trapped sometimes in comparison.
Oh yeah.
When you start going down that mental road.
We've spoken about how, and I tell people, homeschooling, parenting is already such a tool of sanctification and really bringing out some of the worst things in you. And I think that homeschooling, when you're doing it 24/7, is that too. So like, I felt like when I started homeschooling, I saw things in myself that I did not like. And was reacting in ways that I did not like and that I didn't think I would. And that's really scary, you know, to see that in yourself. And I think it's hard not to feel guilty and to go into this whole, just spiral down into this just self-pity, or I don't know, just really negative thinking, this web of I don't know how to do this, you know, I don't know how to be a mom, and I'm gonna mess up my kids, and I'm just a terrible parent, and so on.
Well, so the point of this video really is to say we all feel that way.
Right.
We all aren't prepared for motherhood, and we're all learning along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I've matured as a mom and just really, you know, sought the Lord in this, because really I think that's where my freedom came from. This thought is realizing for me, number one, that I'm not my children's savior. That was really big for me.
Yeah.
Because I think as parents, sometimes we want to protect them from everything wrong. We don't want them to go through anything that's bad.
Yeah. Finding Nemo.
Right. Finding Nemo.
If you keep them from everything, they won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Wisdom from Dory. No, it's true. So I think that realizing, no, you know what? My kids are meant to go through life just like I did. Right. And I survived with little mishaps that I had as a child. And I survived with trials of life, because that is what life is.
Yeah. Well, and the idea that you're a bad mom, right? Because you yell at your kids or you get frustrated with them. And I think staying vulnerable and letting them see that I also mess up and apologizing, which is so powerful. I remember seeing a talk or a preaching about that as a young mom and being able to implement that in my kids over the years has been so freeing.
Absolutely. I do it with my kids too, and I think it's so important for them to see, just like you said, that I mess up. And I think it's important for us to realize, because this is key too, is even if you were perfect, your kids are not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all human. So like, even if a robot raised your kids, they still wouldn't come out perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. You know, we're all human beings. So you have a broken person raising a broken person. That's going to be a complicated dynamic.
Right.
And really the only thing that you can do is be vulnerable, be honest, and point them to Jesus, you know, and we're believers of Jesus. And for me, if it weren't that I can rely on God's grace every day and his guidance and know that it's going to be okay in the end, because I'm unable to be a God to my kids. I'm unable to be Jesus
Right.
to my kids, but I can point them to him.
And when they fail, we're living out, we're saved by grace
Right.
and not by works.
Right.
Extending the mercy to them in those moments.
But anyway, those are the tools that have really helped us and anchored us to when we start spiraling into that guilt and into that battle, to just grab a hold of it and really speak truth to yourself.
Yeah.
So
I think one more thing under that being a bad mom is when we see our kids messing up, or we see that they're going down a road that we don't like or approve of, really staying hopeful and speaking truth and life over your kids. Don't be the one who curses them with your words.
right.
Believe the best in your kids and keep praying, keep speaking truth, that they can accomplish goals, that they are successful people. I don't know, So I think another battle, battle number 2 is the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So whether you are a stay-at-home mom feeling like you're missing out on your career, or you're a career woman feeling like you're missing out at being a stay-at-home mom, they're both can trap you into believing that somehow you can't do both.
Yeah. I think the struggle is really real, and especially in our culture, because we have, culture really influences us, right?
Yeah.
And so we have this culture right now where you're a woman, you could do it all, you know what I mean? You can have a career and raise your kids and do all this stuff. And then on the other hand, we have these Pinterest moms, who, look what I'm doing with my child, and you can't do that when you're working, neener. It's just, so it's kind of this, it's, and it, both of us, it tears at our hearts,
Right.
And I think that it's important to see that, number one, the struggle is going to be there no matter what you decide to do.
Yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah. I mean,
so if you stay home with your kids, you're still going to find you have no time, your house is a mess, and you can't seem to, fit it all in.
Then you resent your husband for leaving and going to an office. And I'm here stuck with these kids. No, I'm joking.
Well, that could be your aunt.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're always thinking about, what if I were doing this? Or,
Right. Instead of living in the present. And that's really the most powerful tool, I think, that we can do, is to be present with your kids no matter how much time you have.
Yeah, and another thing is looking at things, what's the big picture? I mean, if you are a stay-at-home mom and you feel like you're missing out, it's only 18 years of your life. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a very short time that you are giving up for your children, It's never too late to accomplish what you want to accomplish. This whole lie that you have to do it while you're young, I think that's all a lie.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk to the moms that have their careers. I think I've seen a lot of families overcompensate, and because they have guilt, of not being home with their kids, then they don't discipline them properly, or they just shower them with toys and, everything they want.
Even outings and trips.
Yeah.
And things can't take the place of being present and being with them and seeing them. And they're going to be more nourished by just having your attention.
Yeah. And when you get home from work, you give them that attention, and then they're satisfied, it's not, like you said, it's not one or the other.
Yeah. So we just encourage you to really search your heart about where your priorities and your heart is in regard to this issue. And if there is guilt there, and that is your motivation for giving and doing, to really refocus.
Yeah.
For your own good and for the sake of your children.
Yeah. So another mental battle, number 3, is, am I doing enough?
Well, that's huge. I think we could talk about that alone for an hour, because you can apply that to so many areas of your life. obviously as homeschoolers, and am I doing enough with their education and with outings and
yeah. Well, as a first time mom, I think you always like, am I teaching them enough flashcards? Am I teaching them enough words? You know, there's all this worry.
Do they have enough floor time?
Right.
Is their brain being developed properly?
Yeah, and you know what? Like with my daughter, I was all about flashcards and everything. With my son, he didn't get any of that, and he knew all the stuff way before my daughter learned it. Because they just learn. Kids are designed to learn from their surroundings.
Yeah.
There's no need to go so overboard. So if we're talking about phases, from preschool to elementary, there's no need to overdo and overstimulate. Overstimulation is actually a thing.
It is.
So,
well, babies who are overstimulated can't even fall asleep
yeah.
because they need that downtime, and you know, just the way the brain is wired.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop. Elementary kids get overstimulated too
Absolutely.
and have trouble falling asleep or concentrating.
Yeah. And I think check your motivations, like why do you want them to be such geniuses? You know, they're gonna be geniuses regardless, because they're created in a unique way and they have gifts and talents, you know, that
Yeah.
you're gonna nurture. But from preschool to elementary, all they want and all they need is your time.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just you playing with them, talking to them, that's all they need, and that's how they're gonna learn, because
Right.
they're learning from watching you.
Yeah. And the quality of the time is so much more valuable, right? When you're looking at them, when you're reading to them, than all the toys and outings and activities that you could ever give them.
Right. Yeah. So another phase is like preteen, the preteen
That's where
phase.
we're at now.
Yeah, we have some preteens. Well, I have one preteen.
Oh, and
And
one
a
teen.
teenager. Yeah.
Ah!
I know.
Okay, well, I have 3 preteens and 1 teenager.
Yeah, and I think you said something really good earlier, that your time is still needed, obviously, but
Yeah, but they really
validation.
want your validation. And I'm seeing that more and more, where they have these interests in different music that I really like. And they want to know, Mom, what do you think? Do you like that song? Mom, do you like this? Do you watch me do this? You know,
yeah.
watch me. Watch me. It's real.
No, and they want to know what your favorite movie is, and all
Right.
this stuff. Yeah, but they really do want. Now at this time, it becomes not quality from learning, but are you listening to me?
Yeah.
You know, do you care about what I think, my opinions? Because they're starting to be formed.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's really, this is a difficult stage. I feel like from baby to toddler, I like that. Right? And toddler to adolescent, oh, they're getting more independent. That's good when they're that age,
Yeah.
but now the independence is like more out of my reach.
Yeah. Yeah, which takes us to the teens.
Yeah.
They want to spread their wings.
Yeah.
So at this stage, it's important that we practice respect, as in, you know, they're starting to be their own person. So how are we nurturing that
Right.
and not controlling?
Because they still desperately need our validation. They need our nurturing. They need a safe place, but they need the freedom to discover, to fail,
Yeah.
to experience things, and they need that with good boundaries
Yeah.
that are big enough for them to grow.
Yeah, and I think we can guide them, you know, like with, let's just something really simple like wardrobe, you know.
Yeah.
I've always been okay with letting my kids dress the way they want, unless we're going to a wedding or something, you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you know, like, you know how we practice like designing their wardrobe and stuff. Like now they have so much say in it, and it's
Yeah.
important to let them develop their own little style and what they want to do, and
Right.
and for us to validate that and be like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, well, and that was really a new thing, because having 3 boys, I would just go to the store, 3 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, you know, maybe I'll get green, blue, and red.
And that's it.
And that's it. And now They each have their own style, their own preferences, and I want to help them develop and grow, so I'm honoring their choices.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a different thing, but...
And you know what? As moms, we're always learning because our kids are always changing. So you never arrive, you never get there where you know what you're doing, but it really is, moms, all about just remembering that we don't have it all together. We're not meant to have it all together.
Right.
It's all about the teaching moments, the learning moments, and surrendering to that journey and knowing that it's not going to be smooth. It's going to be messy and rocky.
Right.
But it's all worthwhile, and it's going to be okay.
Well, that's part of our motto.
Right.
It's chips and salsa.
Messy.
It's tasty, it's messy, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoyed these tips and that it gave you some food for thought. And we'd love to hear what you have to say down below in the comments. We hope that this helps you to really savor and enjoy motherhood, because motherhood is a beautiful gift.
Yes, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!